Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. We're going to do a Divine Masculine check-in. Why does it feel so good to take deep breaths? Let's all take a deep, deep breath. I once read that taking a deep breath is like receiving a love note from the body. And that is so true. Okay, let's all ground. Spirit, thank you for being with us. What do we need to know about Divine Masculine energy? What do we need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? Okay then, anything else, Spirit? Thank you for being with us. What are the blocks showing up? What are the solutions to those blocks? What do we need to know? Anything else? We have a lot of things here. Do we take them all? Yes, we will. All right, so masculines have gotten this round and round before. So, masculines, you've heard this before, that you are going to continue to get the same lessons until you learn how to respond differently. Hold on, let me get it all out before I... Do we take these? Yes, we will, just for fun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, masculines, you have work to do. You have unfinished business. Maybe it's with people. Maybe it's relationships. Maybe it's with a job, a place of living. You have unfinished business here, and you're going to continue to meet the same obstacles and lessons over and over and over again until you choose something different, until you love yourself enough to tune inward and listen to your own intuition, right? If your discernment is skewed, if you're not listening to your own intuition, if you're listening, masculines, to everyone else, maybe you're listening to the mother or father of your children or your parents, grandparents. Maybe it's a cultural pressure thing. Maybe it's a societal pressure thing. Maybe you've been, in a provider role that has just beaten you down for so long. Whatever this is for you, you're being called to bring all of your energy from the past and all of your worry and stress about the future into the present moment. You're being called to be as present as you can and to just ground your physical vessel. A lot of times when we have a lot of quote unquote problems to solve, and I say air quotes because, in the realm of divine timing and divine intervention, there really is nothing to fix. There's only resonance or dissonance, right? Are we making a choice that is in alignment with our heart's deepest truth and love, or are we making a choice out of contraction and fear and control? Okay. I know that started off a little dense. Let's give you some, I'm not saying that I always have to bring in some positivity, but it is nice to approach, these difficult moments with an air of hope and faith and grace. So what I will say, masculines, is that you are poised and ready. You have worked through all the lessons long enough to know where you make a misstep. I don't want to say wrong, I take that back, but a step out of alignment. Your whole goal here is congruency. Can you take a step that is in alignment with where you are and where you want to go without letting external factors impede on that resonance? You've heard me say this before. You have all of the tools in your toolbox to start this race, to finish the last race. It's like I'm almost seeing like a tournament of marathons, and it's like you know me with this deck, this banner. Let me hold it up. See this banner of flags? I always look at it either like a starting line or a finishing line. And so maybe you're finishing some races and maybe you're starting some new ones, but wouldn't it be lovely to work hard towards something that is in full resonance? Again, I'm calling you back to your body, masculines. What satiates the physical senses within yourself? And I laugh because I stalled saying that because I think a lot of people would say intimacy, of physical intimacy with another person. Masculines, this is your time to be self-contained. This is your time to go inward. This is your time to excavate this grounding without needing to connect or get anything from anyone else. This is a call to a higher sovereignty, masculines. Can you fulfill all of your body's requirements without reaching outside of self? I'm very drawn to this breathe card here. Can you, maybe some of you are very drawn to breath work. That might be something, holotropic breathing, Wim Hof breathing. There's all different kind of sonic drumming, shamanic breathing. There's all sorts of approaches to moving through this sort of self-care thing. It is said that our lungs are the greatest producer of DMT, naturally occurring DMT. Some of you may have heard DMT as a external drug or like a synthetic drug or something, but we actually produce natural DMT in the lungs when you learn how to breathe a certain way. And what does that do? I mean, you could trip, you could take you on a little journey. And I'm not saying that everyone should go out and do this without having some sort of structure to it. But sometimes that just short little, even if it's like 6 seconds of like forced surrender, that floaty feeling sometimes we get through breath work, just that little bit might reset you enough, masculine, so that you can, it'll recalibrate the system, or it could recalibrate the system enough for you to remember love, remember your grounding, remember that you're worth all the treasure in the treasure chest. It's the only, no, it's not the only reversal. The treasure island is in reversed. It's like what happens when you turn a treasure chest over, all the treasure falls out. And so you're really being asked to take accountability, to close these loops with relationships, people, places, and things, so that you can stop leaking energy to all these places. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. What's in the unconscious position? We have not for you. This is your discernment, masculines. So there's something that let me ask the question and not tell you, because I never want to tell people how they're feeling. That's not what we do here. So for some of you, you may be struggling with discernment because in order to go after your heart and soul's deepest truth, you're going to have to be brave. You're going to have to actually, it's like one of those things where you finally admit it to yourself, then you can't not take action, right? You're almost forced. Once you admit it to yourself, then you're forced to take action. You're forced to realize the life you've been nurturing maybe is not in alignment any longer. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I honor that it's scary. If you look at this card, it shows a hand holding a chessboard and the pieces have not been moved yet. And there's a fortune cookie. What does that say? Perfect. The fortune cookie says nope. I just think that's hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's like in the game of chess, masculines, choose where not to play. Like there's some situations and circumstances in your life, masculines, that the actual choice you're being given with is the choice not to play. Right? You might be given the illusion of like, oh, are you going to be the white chess piece or the black chess piece? And you have a secret third option. You can choose not to play. You could choose to flip the board over and have a grand old time. You get to do whatever you want. And so there's something you're pushing into the shadows. Maybe it's your own power. Maybe you're pushing into the shadows that you actually have the power to shift your reality, to change, to take action. Maybe you're pushing into the shadows your true desire, that you actually don't want to play the games anymore with people, places, and things, that you want to claim love, that you want to claim love for yourself or an other. I just got tongue-tied right there. So masculines, yeah, I understand that if it's scary, it's also hard to speak your truth. That to me, that I got tongue-tied right in the center of that, and now my throat's crapping out. Masculines, this is your biggest strategic move that you can make, is owning your truth, speaking your truth, owning your authentic self-expression, and saying it to the one person or the people that you've always wanted to say it with? What are you running from? Like, what is the worst case scenario here? What is so scary about speaking your truth? It's the answer to that question that is going to help set yourself free and help you re-embrace your intuition, right? What do I always say? I say, we get to love ourselves enough to take up enough space to go at our own pace so that we can access wise discernment, right? Sometimes the world, not sometimes, most of the time, the world demands immediate answers. Everyone wants an answer yesterday, and honestly, when we make those fast-paced answers, sometimes we betray or abandon parts of self. We are no longer in the business of doing that, masculines, right? We are no longer in the business of betraying our truth, betraying our heart's truest desires. So what's being pushed into the shadow, or what's being kept out of your unconscious, that might be on deck to come in, is a new level of discernment, a new way of allowing this piece of you, this beautiful, sacred, heart-aligned soul truth to lead your way, to lead the way. Okay. Where else should we go? Hold on. There we go. I could not find this one deck, and here it is. Okay, Spirit, is there anything else you want to say that would support this discernment for the masculines, that would support them loving themselves and bravery? We have good fortune. Invite the magic in. Yeah, masculines, this is a message where you are not alone. This is a love letter from the divine saying that we're with you. Just ask for help if you need it. If you're struggling to bridge that gap to your own spirituality, call upon your inner or external masculine. Feminine. Wow, Freudian slip. I think that was a Freudian slip because it's like masculines, you don't even need your inner feminine anymore. Like, you've embraced your inner feminine to the point where it's actually softened your masculine enough so that this is complicated, but bear with me. Your inner masculine has watched the magic of your inner feminine and is now trusting truth, trusting vulnerability, understanding the humility and power in surrendering to our own vulnerability. And so you don't have to turn towards your inner feminine. Your masculine has all of the tools in the toolbox to confront these moments. Angel of miracles, open your heart and expect a miracle. It's another, you are divinely supported, masculines. And whether you believe in it or not, you have angels, ancestors, a whole soul team, archangels, guardian angels. You have a whole... You have a whole team open, ready, and willing to support you across the finish line. Have you ever watched a marathon or been to like a marathon at the finish line? There's so many volunteers and helpers and people. I'm getting emotional because it's so beautiful. It's like these people volunteer their time to support people doing crazy hard things. And it's just so beautiful. There's like cheerleaders and there's people handing out water and towels and, there's people who just hug people and celebrate. You are so supported, masculines. I don't want you to forget that. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is hitting me so hard. No, I do know why, because I'm experiencing the empathy for the divine masculines who have felt like they've been so alone on this path. It's so brutal, right? To really move through that idea is to move through a dark night of the soul, to feel like you have nothing and no one on this planet, that you're not welcome anywhere, that you're excommunicated from the tribe, right? These are deep, primal, primitive trauma responses that exist within all of us. Okay, we have potential. Think big for your future and battle of the blues. Take steps towards positive change. Yeah, this is like going back to one of the first messages in this reading. You are going to continue going round and round and round until you make a different choice, right? And so, sorry, I'm all sniffly. How do I say this? Yeah, masculines, really, I really honor, like, if you've been doing this so long that maybe you feel depressed, maybe you feel anxious, maybe you have, your nervous system is so jacked up from the same thing happening over and over again. Here's the difference. You're listening to someone like me, and I get to invite you to invite God in. Pray to God. Pray to whoever you pray to and say, I don't know which way to go, right? This was the vulnerability we were talking about. You understand now that being vulnerable does not mean you're weak. Being vulnerable is a bridge to connection, saying, hey, I'm struggling, I need help. This is the doorway that the divine enters. Sorry, I'm really touched by that. I don't know why I'm crying so freaking much today. Anyway, moving on, like masculines, I honor how difficult this is to confront these same pieces of self and to struggle every time. But again, you're never alone. We have all these divine invitations here to ask for help. Say, it's a great prayer. It's a really powerful prayer. So don't say it if you're not ready for your life to change. Say, God, dear God, I can't possibly make these decisions for myself. Please take the wheel, right? Please get in the driver's seat of my life. I will ride shotgun, please. And watch what happens. Or angels, whoever you feel, or your ancestors. If you have a beloved ancestor that has passed away, you can call upon them for help. All right, in the unconscious position is cheer up, live in the moment. Yeah, it might feel counterintuitive to celebrate and to express joy and love when you're feeling down in the dumps and in the blues a little bit, masculines, but there's always something to celebrate. And this comes back to being in the here and now. Live in the moment. Try to really call all your energy back from places it doesn't belong, from thoughts, from people, from situations that it doesn't serve your highest good, and just be in the moment. That's it. All you have to worry about is what is the next kind of step I can take for myself. And that step could be every 10 seconds. It could be every hour. It could be, I've never been part of AA before, but I really resonate with one day at a time, because in the realm of spirit and the realm of energy, we're working 1 second at a time, just 1 second at a time. Just breathe. That's it. Just breathe. Okay. Anything else, masculines? Anything else? Where do we want to go, spirit? Okay. Earth, we need some earth magic. That makes sense because we need some grounding here. Okay, this is, oh my God. I didn't even see it when I said it. We have the grounding tree, and then we have volatility, volcano. I mean, come on. You need to ground because the intensity of the change. Okay, wait, let me grab it. Sorry. If you've been going round and round and round with all of these different scenarios, in order to mend these certain things in your life, you're going to have to survive the blast of the dismantling. One of my mentors, not in my lifetime, but Saint Teresa of Avila always said, to be illuminated is to dismantle the environment around you so that you can contain more light, so that you can contain more truth, so that you can contain more God. I'm going to say that first part again. To be illuminated, to awaken, to be enlightened, is to dismantle everything around you. That is this. That is the volatility and not fighting it, masculines. Do not fight whatever's being demolished in your life. Sure, we could call it a tower moment if you want to get all tarot on us, but it's really like, if there's a problem with the foundation of the building, you have to demolish the whole thing and repair the foundation. Yes, you might be able to repair it without demolishing the building, but that's very hard to do, and you have to jack up the building in order to make the appropriate repairs. Okay, anything else for masculines? I just can't believe about this grounding. So what I care most about for you masculines, I care about grounding. Wait, is this on camera? Yes, I care about grounding. I care about the here and now, and I care about you remembering to breathe. That's it. What's going to happen is going to happen. I laugh because we have lightning power. Look at all this like Mother Nature energy. I swear I just saw one. Here we go. Full moon completion. It was in reverse. So something is completing in your life, masculines. And your biggest job is to care for your physical body, mind, and soul as this chaos is moving through your body. Remember, like sometimes the storm has to violently come and sweep our life and take with it all that no longer serves. Let it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Please let it take whatever it needs. And then we have Vision Quest Desert in reverse. Yeah, I don't feel like you're ready for that. So I'm say more about that, Spirit. I don't know why that came out. Wake up call. I see. Okay. When you've moved through this whole debacle, you will, hold on. No, I need another card, Spirits. Can you say something about the tsunami? There's all these, there's so much intense energy in this. What is going on in your life, masculines? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. So just honor that this is a wake-up call. Honor that this is going to take you on a vision quest so that you have protected, safe, serene space so that you can reflect on your life. It's like what happens after, what do they say when in the aftermath of a huge storm? They literally call it the calm. No, that's the calm before the storm. What do they call it? There is a phrase, though, for after the storm. Anyway, when I've been in a crazy hurricane in Florida before, and it's almost eerie how quiet it gets after the hurricane goes through. And so there's something about allowing this active Mother Nature, masculines, to blow through your life so that you can see clearly, so that you and Spirit together can refine your vision, so that you understand where you're going, so that it might feed that confidence, feed that power of clarity and conviction to take next steps in your life, steps that are in alignment with your soul's deepest truth. Yeah, and here's another unconscious position shadow. It's like, masculine, some of you still don't believe that you have the power to create. And that might be a really deep collective masculine wounding, right? The masculines can't give physical birth like some of the women, and I'm not equating gender and the energy, right? We both have feminine and masculine energy within us, but this might be coming up in a different way of like I don't have the power to create within me. But what did I say earlier? That you actually have all of the tools within you to mend these, tattered or broken or fractured parts of your life. So this is just what you're afraid of, or this is a fear. This isn't a reality. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to get an ancestor card really quick. Spirit, how would you like to end? How would you like to end? What would you like to leave these beautiful beloveds with? What do we need to know for the highest and best good of self on the planet? That just launched somewhere. Hold on. All right, we have Seer, see beyond the current situation, and Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. It's our second card of reflection. Let me just see what's in the unconscious position. Yeah, we have enjoy, success, and happiness. This is what you're literally pushing your light. How funny is this? You're literally pushing the light of the sun into the shadow. You're literally pushing it away. And, let's be empathic. Let's offer ourselves a profound amount of grace, masculines. It's understandable when you're pushing the light away if you're feeling down in the dumps. What's hilarious? This woman literally looks like she's a part of the swamp. Like she couldn't be more down in the dumps. Yeah, so just honor that this is a moment in time. This isn't the whole moment, okay? Let's get some Buddha wisdom to end with. No. Let's get some self-care. Self-care. Now, I love this deck because it's like tangible self-care. It's like, go for a walk. All right, Spirit, what should masculines do? What would support them? What would help them move the needle? How should they care for themselves right now? What do they need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? All right, we have soak in a bath. Yeah, this is more grounding. I immediately thought of Epsom salt bath. This is more grounding. Drink tea. This is another card of being present, of like, can you bring all of your attention and awareness and almost make it a ritual, making a cup of tea, masculines. We have, I can't pick up the cards, they're too slippery. We have connect with fire and aromatherapy. Yeah, there's some smells that because of our olfactory situation, the smell memory connection is one of the strongest connections we have. And I'm just wondering, masculines, do you have wonderful memories around the fire? I love that smell of wood burning outside, especially when it's like kind of fall. It's a little crisp in the air, a little chilly. And even if you're driving somebody's house where they're burning a fire outside, it's like the best smell. So you're being called to return to the flames, and that's a very tribal imagery, right? So maybe get your friends together or people that you enjoy being around with, and join in community, start a fire, invite people to sit around it, even if you say nothing. Some of the best nights I remember is like getting out of the pool when I was little and then just sitting in silence with my friends around the fire. You're like cold and wet, but it's like warm out. But then the heat of the fire, I don't know, it's just like the best feeling. All right, beautiful, beautiful masculine. Thank you for being with me. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.